Hi, my name is Micah, and I'm really excited to be here today to share with you guys my testimonial and my experience on this really amazing new health and wellness breakthrough that my good friend Anwar thankfully hit me up to try out for myself and get my opinion on. A little bit about myself. I've been a health and wellness fanatic for the last, 15 years or so, and I'm always looking for something to help me in my journey and also something that can help others. And recently, about a year and a half ago, my husband and we survived a head-on collision, and unfortunately it caused a lot of severe injuries and lots of pain, mostly inflammation and pain that happened. Thankfully we survived, but Anwar, when he heard about this, I was one of the first people that he reached out to, and I'm really thankful for that. So thank you, Anwar, so much for thinking of me. And, when he told me about it, he said stem cell activating patch, which just absolutely blows my mind that there's anything that can actually do this. But of course it intrigued me, and so I did my due diligence, listened to the testimonials that him and his family were experiencing that happened pretty right away, and ordered it immediately. I've been on it for just about a month now, and my husband as well, and we are super thankful for this new breakthrough, and it has definitely helped us a ton in our recovery. We are noticing some really great benefits, reduced inflammation for sure, which means less pain, but also we're just feeling really good, energetic. There's definitely something going on with this, and I can just see this helping and blessing so many people's lives. And so I wanted to just share that with you guys. We're feeling an elevated sense of well-being, really focused, kind of a youthfulness that's coming with this stem cell activating patch. It's called the X39 patch by LifeWave. And so I want to introduce Anwar, but really wanted to make sure that you guys can get a feel for who this man is. He is one of those rare individuals who really cares about people. He's experienced a lot of success in his life, but his main passion is to help others experience success, help others experience an elevated life experience, and to really bless people's lives with health and wellness and just everything. So we're here to live our best lives, and Anwar is definitely someone that I trust to introduce all of my friends and family to, and someone that I just have so much respect and love for him. So thank you, Anwar, again. By the way, guys, he's a little bit of a genius, so take notes. This is one of those videos that you definitely want to take notes to, because he is going to pass on a lot of really great knowledge, and just really excited. So thank you again, Anwar. I'm going to send it over to you.
Okay, so thanks for that intro, Mika, and thanks for sharing your experience. I'll just a few words about Mika. She's over the last 10 years built some phenomenally big businesses in the health space, and she's actually come out of early retirement in order to work with us on this project. So me and Mika will both be leading the Facebook groups and the information that's being given out to everyone about this product. She's obviously going to cover the US, I'll cover the Europe and the rest of the world. So what I want to do in this video is I want to try and get this through to you in the most concise and quick way possible for you to get all the information to make an informed choice about this new technology that we've found. Now, so the content of this video is going to be that I'm going to go through a brief history of a little bit of what we've done, how we've come to be in the sort of information medicine space. So I want to cover how we found the product. And along that journey, we basically, we've done some really great testing with it. Because of the businesses that I'm involved in, we've had access to some really great technologies which have been able to verify what this product does. Now, I know for anyone watching this for the first time, it's like, we're just sick to death of being bombarded with rubbish, nonsensical offers of things that promise the earth and don't deliver anything. And for me personally, I find that just disgusting. The health space is littered with false claims and things that are, the second coming of God that's going to fix every illness in someone's body, and people are just sick to death of being sold the dream all the time. So this is why I'm breaking this video down into parts, so that you can actually see the research, the company history, the sports stars attached to it, so on and so forth. And it's I'm going to try and give you within less than an hour everything that you need to know about this product. So it's going to be broken down into sections where I just cover how we've come to discover the product, the testing that we've done. I want to show you my dad's testimonial. I've got a really large Facebook group where we've had some astonishing testimonials, and you're going to see it in real time because I'm just going to go through it on screen in my Facebook group, and anyone's free to join that group, and it's and you'll see that it's real people that are validating everything that's being said about this. Then we're going to cover a little bit about the company, then we're going to go to the product creator, and he's going to give an overview of what it does, and then we'll show some more testimonials, and then we're going to go through how you actually access the product. So let's get started. So a little bit about what I've done in the last 10 years. Like, we were in the marketing space, so we built a business called AdPods, and that became the world's #1 mobile marketing company, and we spent a long period of time just dealing with all the world's biggest brands, like clients like Coca-Cola, Virgin, British Gas, stuff like that. And we developed internet marketing systems, and that's what predominantly I was doing up until about 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, my life kind of changed a lot because my brother was a chronic alcoholic. He'd had 4 suicide attempts. We'd been through everything that the NHS had to offer, the National Health Service in England. We'd been through rehabs, we'd been through every type of therapy. And what I just discovered, the more that I went through this process, was the system is just broken. And at the same time, I was seeing all of the people around me that are starting to get sick and die of cancers. And it's like, I look at, when you see the video that I'm going to get to of my dad, you'll see the bag of medication that he was on. And what I find astonishing about this system is that we live in a world where the biggest buyers of pharmaceuticals, i.e. the governments of every country, never get a discount. Please tell me another business anywhere in the world where you're the biggest buyer of a product and you don't seem to get a discount. And at the same time, the people that are pushing these pharmaceutical pills, the doctors, they never get trained on nutrition. They have about 1 day while they're being trained. So people are just going in with terrible diets, which are facilitating more and more symptoms in their body. And all they're doing is just giving them another pill. But you open these packs of pills and there's a massive great sheet of all the symptoms and problems that they're likely to cause. Could cause bleeding, could cause this, could cause that, could cause the other. And no one ever seems to take account for what's being prescribed to people. So in the case of my dad, here he is with like a bag of 10 different pills. We think he's losing his mind slightly, because he's getting so forgetful and everything. But it's just all the symptoms that are coming from these pills that he's been on. And if you just look at it in yourself, look around at the people that are regularly going to the doctors and they're coming back with these bags of pills and they never get better. Tell me another industry where people can consistently fail to actually make people better, which is their job, and they don't have any recourse. There doesn't seem to be any accountability. I just found this staggering. So it's like 4 years ago, I ended up moving into the health industry because by accident I was looking for something to fix my brother. Now, I won't go into details on this video with it, but basically what we were doing was we ended up working with frequency. So we ended up developing a business which would develop products like this, which is a world first, where we can send frequency to people's body that made them sleep better. It removed emotional stress from them and did a whole raft of amazing things. Now, along that journey, I met loads of amazing product developers. So, I was going around the world doing these talks, and I would just meet these amazing people that have developed things that, work on cancers. I've seen things that work on free energy. I've seen 1,000,001 different amazing things. But the consistent problem of all these things was that the people that were great at doing the inventions were terrible at getting their message out. So that's where it kind of led to me going further and further into the health space. Now, along that journey, we end up putting our products into like over 40 countries. We do really well and help thousands of people. And in the development of my Facebook group, it's like suddenly I end up with this group of people that's an amazing, amazing resource. And we've got so much good stuff going out there. And I can't risk going into look at another company's product unless it really, really checks out. But ultimately, everyone that I'm in business with and everyone that I work with are all on the same tangent. We're looking to find a health protocol that works, where we can detoxify the body and where we can energize the body and we can pull these traumas out. So that's always been our goal. So for me to have come into this product that we're going to talk about now, it's like it had to check out. So at the time that I got a message from my friend Michael in Australia, this was a few weeks ago now, so we're in like December. I'm recording this in December 2018, so it was in mid-November 2018 he messaged me, And this is someone that I've trusted for years. I've known him for the last decade, and it's like he's a zero bullshit person. He's someone that just is a straight shooter, and he's devoting his own life to help people. And he messaged me on Skype and said, mate, we need to talk because I think I've just found one of the biggest innovations in health. Now, as soon as he made that statement, I had to listen. I had to listen because I know the character and I knew the person. So I get on a Skype call with him, coincidentally, just a couple of days before I was due to fly to Michigan. Now, I was flying to Michigan to sit with one of my business partners, Dr. Mike, and he's an amazing inventor. This is where we're working on a technology that protects people from EMF radiation. But I knew when I was going over there, he had a machine that he specifically uses for his testing called CyberScan. Now, this CyberScan is a $20,000-$30,000 FDA-approved medical device, and it works on the basis of energy medicine. So it's like you can connect to it by touching your hand, or you have a hair sample, and it can scan the energy field of a human being. And what mainstream medicine doesn't talk about, but we've obviously spent our career with building stuff like our frequency stuff, is that when something's wrong in the body, it's like the information field is incorrect. So if you send the corresponding frequency, resonance, information field, however you want to describe that, but it's like a line of data, it's information. Once you send the corresponding data to the body, the physical reacts. And that's where we've had such amazing results in everything we've done. Like in what I've been able to do in the last 4 years, we've taken people out of massive traumas, such as things like domestic violence, sexual abuse, childhood traumas. We've taken people off heroin addiction, cocaine addiction, smoking. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So I knew when I was flying out there that we were going to have the ability to test this new stem cell product. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut to a video which I recorded when I was in Michigan. Now, the way that I did this was I took 3 hair samples. As I was flying over from where I live in Spain, I took my dad, my friend Steve, and my nephew Sam. What we were able to do was scan them and take a baseline reading of them, which gave a report. And in this report, it was very specific, as you'll see in the video. It talks about things that it couldn't have known, like Steve has an aneurysm and a bolt in his head. It knew that. It knew that my nephew's foot was out of alignment. It knew my dad had arthritis in his hands. So that it was just very, very specific. What then happened, and this was the turning point in the validation for me of this product, was that as soon as they put the patch on, 3 hours later we scanned them and all their markers drop. So what I'm going to do now is just cut to that video so you can see this for yourselves, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you about my dad. Okay, so I'm not going to go into massive detail on these, but I'm just going to show you the accuracy of these reports that have been done. This is it's like a 20-30 grand FDA medical approved device, and it shows 3 completely different people with completely different results that are very specific to them. So in a minute, I'm going to go and film my dad so you can get some sort of testimony from what he's experienced with this. I'm just going to highlight some of the key points. So here it says he's had alopecia from medication. Now you'll see he's lost some of his hair. He's gone bald. He's pretty old now. So it's like so. That's correct. But then what you start to see is because he had rheumatoid arthritis, it is disgusting, like medication symptoms, medication-induced problems, dizziness, headaches. This goes on and on and on and on. So I'm just going to go to the ones that I've highlighted because there's quite a lot of these to get through, and I don't want this to go on too long going through these. So look at this, just ridiculous headaches. You didn't know whether he was coming or going. They literally had him on such a bag of pills, and none of it made him better. That was the shocking part of all this, you know. Here, it's because it's pulling up the markers. So he had markers in him for leukemia, and he's also had some cancer markers. Now that's quite relevant because he has actually had some cancers cut out of his skin as well. Metastases, there's some stuff there on cancer. So I'm just bloody glad that we've got him off all of this crap that they had him on. This here, it's going through the microbiology, and it's sort of saying all the different bacterias and pathogens that are inside him. This was incredibly accurate, where it's saying hands and wrists, so finger and joint arthritis. Let's go move to Steve quickly now. So in Steve's case, it was coming up, he's probably one of the most forgetful people I've ever known. It came up saying that he needs delta brainwaves. I thought that was hilarious. There was some gastro stuff going on, which is something that Steve has had some issues with. Eczema, he gets a bit of eczema, so that's correct. He's had a groin problem. Literally, he'd only that week been to go and get some cupping and some physio done on his groin. And additional to that, this one was amazing. So it comes up saying it's a head injury and a skull contusion. Now, Steve had probably 20, 30 years ago, he had a aneurysm, so he's actually got a bolt in his head. Again, amazing. So specific that would be picked up on the machine. Now, what's really interesting on these is that what we're able to do is go and do the retest on everyone. Now, what you see here is it's a level 1 and it's a 95. So that's level 1 is the highest problem, and it's 100% of level 1 is the worst that you could possibly have. Now, once they put this stem cell patch on, which I'm going to start to cover in more detail in a second, they literally within 3 hours their markers on everything dropped, and this just goes across the board, every single one. So this was the most amazing set of validation that I could have done on the product, because, like I say, it's an FDA medical approved device that is used to treat every single condition in the body, including cancers. So for it to have given such very specific and accurate reporting that is clear that this is 3 separate people and it's all the issues that they're dealing with, to have put this technology on and suddenly seen these results come back, I thought was astonishing. Okay, so that's kind of incredible. Now, the next video clip I want to show you is that I was in Michigan for roughly a week. When I came back, my dad had been on the product for probably 6 days or something along those lines. This video shows the medication that he was on, and it shows you the astonishing turnaround that we had in his health, where we've now been able to pull him off all medication. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be across the board for everyone, because we were using some of the additional frequency tools and some of the other products we've got, but none of them were able to do what had happened when he put this patch on. So this is what was the absolute conclusive turning point for me, that we were gonna look much further into this product. So here's this video. Right, so what I've brought down is Dad's big bag of pills. We're still moving in, so all of our stuff's just arrived from the UK. It took weeks to get here. So, right, come sit down with us, Dad. I want to go through this report with you. Alright, so sit here. Right, so this is that. So this he hasn't seen, so I'm going to go through it with him. So, you know, when I scanned you in when I was at Dr. Mike's, it came up with a whole series of results, right? Yeah. And you'll find this shocking, right? Every one of these that I've highlighted in orange, it's all saying stuff like headaches as an acute side effect resulting from medication prescribed for other indications, headache as side effect resulting from long-term medication, and this just goes on and on and on. I mean, it's shocking. Every one of them, it's just incredible. Headache. So, you know, because this, just to cover this is like what pisses me off with the medical system, right? Let me just put this down. Get that there. Come on. Let's see if we can. That'll do it. Nice. Right, so, yeah. I'll hold the phone up. So, look at this. Boxes and boxes of crap.
That's 1 month.
This is it. This is 1 month. So, none of this ever fixed his arthritis. And it just gave side effect after side effect after side effect after side effect, as you can see in the report. So, just tell us, right, what did you, when this kicked in for you, it was like, it started off as like a pain that was in your hand, wasn't it, that went up your arm?
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, it used to blow up to about here, all over.
Yeah.
And I used to be in, sometimes I was in so much pain that I felt like putting it on my backside to try and, calm it, but it's no good. But as I say, look at the difference now, dear. Yeah,
you've got full power coming back. Like, I remember there was a point where you couldn't, you were struggling to open jars.
That's right, yeah. Well, I wouldn't be able to open that anyway.
Yeah. So, we went through various different products. Like one of our other products. So we've got something called YTE. That sort of gave a big difference. It was a relief, but nothing's ever truly got that swelling at your hand, and that's what I'm finding quite shocking with this, because it was literally like it was ballooned all the time. So I actually thought it was, I didn't think it was just swelling that would go down. I thought your bones had actually started to go hard, but
No.
So basically, with getting Dad over here, because before he was living in Torquay, I was living in Manchester, so I couldn't monitor and go through and get him off all these medications. So because we've got our own frequency machine and I do treatments on him, but we weren't getting him to the point of like completely zero pain. And I think because he was always in pain and he was always on this crap, it's like, you know, his head was bloody foggy and whatnot. And it's like, whereas here we can, you know, I'll make sure that you get the right dose of what we're giving you and everything. Yeah. So anyway, so if we fast track to the patch, when you put it on, you said you started to get a tingle in your hand quite quickly and the pain disappeared. So what happened when, and the patch, as you can see on me probably here, it goes on the back of your neck. So you put it on, and then what happened?
Well, I felt it going all the way down my body, right down to me toes, and marvellous.
And the pain just stopped, yeah?
Oh yeah, pain stopped, yeah. Marvellous.
So the thing that, because I was obviously ringing Steve from to get like a feedback from when I was over in Michigan doing these reports. So Dad said and this is what people report on this product. It's one of the many things that this patch does, is that it takes people out of pain quickly. Now I'm going to go into the details of this more, but I just thought it was astonishing that I saw the markers drop and he started to feel a tingle in his hand and then started to get full power coming back into his hand. And this was within, what, an hour?
Yeah, within an hour, yeah.
And we're now like a week, 10 days on.
10 days, now fine, luckily, see.
And he's off all this. So I just pulled him straight off it all. And it's like, you know, we did a little bit of work on the frequency machines to balance things out. We've also got another product coming, because the one I was concerned about was you being on statins, because that's just an evil product. And so we've got a new product coming, which will be this, which is good for the heart. So once I was able to get you on that, that's it. You were off everything, weren't you?
That's right, fine.
And you just feel good. You sleeping well.
Anybody over 45, take his advice. I tell you, if you're in pain.
Yeah, but you're sleeping better now, aren't you? That's
I could sleep sound. As soon as I hit the bed, I'm gone.
And now you're off all this stuff. Like you feel mentally clearer, yeah.
Oh yeah, fine.
Good.
Absolutely fine.
So that's Dad's testimony, and now let's go to the company actual setup and everything else. I'll go through it on the screen share. Right, so one final thing I forgot to do is I wanted to show you this. So remember on that report it said that there was problems with his eyes. There's the eye drops that he's on. Absolute confirmation. Astonishing how that can work. Anyway, right. So for me, that's been really astonishing. The fact that, you know, we've been able to see such an enormous turnaround in my health. My dad's now probably 3 weeks or so into the patch. His skin conditions changed. He literally physically looks younger. His mental faculties have come back. He's not so forgetful. He's not like forgetting and triggering and not being able to remember names, because we've suddenly got him off all this horrible medication that was never fixing him in the first place. But the key thing is the inflammation's gone down. He's got the power back in his hands. I mean, it's astonishing what it's done. So at this point, I then put it out to my group on Facebook, which is called Crypto Health, which you can see on screen. So if I just scroll down here, because we put some stuff out, I'm just going to read you out some of the real life testimonials. So as you can see in here, there's 4,137 people in the group at the moment. If we go into LifeWave testimonials about the stem cell patch. So the first one that comes up, I'm just going to read out to you. So Ryan McGuigan, who is a holistic therapist, he said, just tried the new X39 patches today for the first time. Really what I'm looking for was a decent night's sleep and more energy. But I have elbow pain associated with my work, and within literally 2 minutes of applying the patch at the back of my neck, my elbow pain is completely gone. It would usually cause me to wince when bending or putting any force through my elbow, and it's completely cleared up even when doing push-ups. I'm guessing because it's eliminated the inflammation of the tendon due to overuse. I also went for a run afterwards and I have no soreness, stiffness in my legs. Woohoo, here's to a good night's sleep tonight. So then I'm just going to go into the comments and I'm just going to show you just how many people in such a short space of time have now shared their story, and some of these are astonishing. I mean, it's just, Michael wasn't wrong when he said to me he thinks he's found one of the biggest innovations in medical history. It's just astonishing. So, okay, so let's have a look. Second testimonial. First night of patches, the deepest sleep in years. Next, let's go down. Third testimonial, and this is within just days of them getting it. My X39, got my X39 2 hours ago, put it on the back of my neck. After about 10 minutes, I noticed a warm, fuzzy feeling going down my back. It's a hard day for me emotionally, as it's my mum's anniversary. As of someone dying. I must say my emotions have lifted somewhat. Keep sharing what you're doing on the patches. It's good to learn more from the reactions. So this is an amazingly supportive, great group that I've got here. So if I just scroll down to a few more. I no longer have to give my boys any harmful pain meds. This is another testimonial coming in about pain. We've got, I haven't been able to walk up the stairs in years. Today on 2 days on LifeWave patch, I can. So scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Let's try and find some more. This is an amazing video testimonial that we've got in. Just received mine. First one is on. My neck's been in agony for 2 weeks now, so I'm looking forward to noticing any benefits. I can feel localized warmth after only 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, this is like, when we go further into the product, you'll see that the people are experiencing with these products is that you're able to literally put it on, and for many people, pain starts to disappear within minutes. Just like my dad, within an hour, he was feeling some tingles go through him, and it went through. Some people have obviously got, because you're starting to produce stem cells, which are then go into the root of pain. Interestingly, like, so, you know, I don't want everyone having a mindset of like, oh, we're going to put it on, and within minutes we're going to be out of pain, because for some people it takes 5 days and even 3 weeks. Because even though, I'll give you an example, one of my friends, Lee, had a bit of arthritis in his toes. Now, within the first 5 days, his toes weren't getting fixed, but what he didn't, and he kind of sort of forgot to mention, was the fact he'd been in a car accident where it really seriously messed his back up, and he's just been used to having that pain. He's been used to being sitting down and for it to always be aching and throbbing. So 5 days later, suddenly his toes start to get a bit better, but then when we actually sit down and discuss it, we realise that suddenly he's out of pain in his back. And so, you know, it's not always a direct thing that you think this is the thing that you're focusing on that it's going to fix. Then, you know, just as you know, sort of a simple disclaimer. But it's like, you know, stem cells are going to work on every area of your body. It's not just pain, it's wound healing, it's muscle recovery. It's people are starting to see that their eyesight's improving. Someone had glaucoma and, you know, their eyes have improved. I mean, these things shouldn't happen. People are regrowing hair. So let's just go through, because a couple of these testimonials I really do want to show you quickly in this video. So here, this is a result of wound healing. So someone had gone and had an operation in July. By the end of July, it's healing nicely. By August, there's barely any visible scar. Scroll further down. 18th testimonial. This is within days that this has come back. So to put this in perspective as well, at this point that I've had the 18th testimonial come in, I don't think we had more than 40 people that had actually received the patches. So again, staggering results. Just received mine, first one on, next been in agony, blah, blah, blah. KB, well, it's been around 5 hours since I put it on. My neck is still sore, but it seems to be more mobile. I've had lots of chiropractic recently, and since the last session it has felt really inflamed. It feels as if the inflammation is reducing. Also, after being in major hibernate mode for the last few days, I suddenly feel a lot more active this afternoon, a noticeable shift in mood. Early days, I know, but it's excited in the arrival and see how I sleep. So within 5 hours, inflammation is going down in a neck that's inflamed. I want to show you the autism ones. There's so many in this thread, because I think the autism ones are astonishing. Here we go. So this is Mandy, and she runs a business that distributes a lot of products for autism. So it's Mandy saying, my son Sam is 21, severe autism, epilepsy, Lyme's, non-verbal and uber sensory sensitive. Managed to get a patch on yesterday by patting it on his bare back and saying well done in the palm of my hand. He didn't know it was there. Visited tonight to put a new one on, and he felt it and wanted it off within 10 minutes. Later he asked for another one, offered me his back and said I said, do you want this? And he signalled yes. I did so, and I put it on his back. This is huge. Now there's been some follow-ups to this since. Let's go down through this thread. Me too, just been up there again, and he was worried about it falling off in the bath, bless. Stuck it on his back himself. I said, do you want a new one? He took his top off and he offered it me back. Been very inactive with staff, initiating games, and a good report from college also. Tomorrow we'll try his support staff applying it. Debbie comes in with a testimonial update. 1 week on the patches, body's in full detox mode as my nose is streaming, buying shares in tissues. However, I do not feel ill at all. I've been on the patches for a week now, apart from Friday when I forgot. I've stopped grinding my teeth, sleeping better, stopped my gastritis within 48 hours, and I'm no longer getting up in the middle of the night to empty the bladder. This will make you laugh. I've not been to the dentist for nearly 7 years now, and as a result of this, I've been chewing on the right hand side all the time. Today I was able to chew on the left without any pain at all. First time in 7 years. On Saturday I woke up with the most awful sore throat, and within 30 minutes the pain has gone. Sore throat again this morning. 30 minutes of applying the patch, it's gone. To say I'm impressed is an understatement. This one also for autism is really, really impressive. Michelle, my son is 13, severe autism, Lyme's, amongst other issues. He is primarily non-verbal and not conversational, but has few words. Patch day number 2. Very verbal. His tutor also, as he's educated at home, recorded his mans. These are demands or requests made by my son. The top numbers are spontaneous, unprompted. The bottom are prompted. You can see today's numbers in comparison to his last week's. His tutor asked him to hop. Usually his foot does not leave the floor, and he kind of hops, but the ball of the foot firmly on the floor and lifts the heel. Only as a token gesture. Today he hopped and his foot left the floor. He has also developed a productive cold today, sneezing loads. He usually has a power nap most days, but today he has been very active, which is quite bizarre, seeing as he is clearly under the weather. He also has been very happy, active and alert, and if I just pull up this image, you can see the difference there. So these are amazing things that are happening. So, there's obviously all the standard things where people are just wound healing, muscle recovery, sleeping better, so on and so forth. But, this really is showing very, very promising signs that this is going to be able to help, some of the most damaged children that have ended up with autism. So next, I just want to talk a little bit about the company. Now, this is something that's really important that we cover. Okay, so let's just talk quickly a bit about the company. The company itself has been around since 2004. They've had terrific turnover. I think it was in 2010. They were in the Inc. 5000's fastest growing companies. They had like a 40-50 million a year turnover. And they've been really prolific in creating new products and running them through scientific studies, creating the scientific papers and studies, and also patenting their products. So if we just go through this section here, you can see here are all the patents that have been filed for their technology. The actual patch itself is registered as an FDA medical device. Another huge tick in the box. And you see things here like osteoarthritis in a double-blind placebo-controlled study about pain relief. A double-blind placebo-controlled heart rate variability investigation. I mean, these are massive things, that there's study after study after study after study after study after study after study. So this isn't a company that's just popped up out of nowhere, that's just selling some pointless weird patch. It's a company that's seriously invested in its technology and has continued to do so for almost 15 years. And as you can see, it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So I'm not going to go into this because you can easily access and find this information by going to the website and clicking on products and go to science. Next, I want to go to the About Us section. In here, we want to look at, the leadership section. So in the leadership section, you can see who's behind it. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about David Schmidt because he's the guy that's done it. So David Schmidt's the inventor of the LifeWave technology and the founder of the company. He's basically been working on stuff like advanced applications, worked for many companies such as Advanced Applications, and is a research and development center that specializes in energy production technologies for both the military and commercial applications. During his time with AAG, developed new methods for producing hydrogen and oxygen, designed and prototyped multi-fueled bladeless turbine power systems, and constructed metal combustion rocket engines. I'm not going to go fully into his story because you can read all this, but he's a serious inventor. He's worked with the military, he's worked on a governmental level, and he's produced a lot of good stuff. Okay, so under the About Us tab, if we go into the newsroom, you can see there's a ton of different press releases about all the various different patents and things that they've achieved through scientific studies. If we click into endorsers, you can see there's a whole host of different sports stars that are from all different fields that endorse it, such as world championship boxers, NFL players, basketball players, so on and so forth. If we click into in the news, you can see they've been featured in a ton of different magazines. So in here it's things like Los Angeles Times, Sports Illustrated, Iron Man magazine, Esquire magazine, ESPN magazines. There's a ton of different great press articles about the company. The one that I really want you to look at is the sports stars and athletes. So in here there's a ton of different Olympians, martial artists, gymnasts, basketball players, boxers, power lifters, and the list just goes on and on and on and on and on of sports stars that use the products. So this is a really, really good endorsement for the high quality and the enhanced performance that these products are giving to athletes. The final point that I want to add to this is just recapping a few things. You've got a 14, 15-year-old company that's done tens of millions in turnover. It's in 110 countries. It's got multiple patents, over 60 medical studies done on its products. This is a really serious company that's doing its absolute utmost to provide products that have got real-world science behind them. Additional to that, you've got this, as I've shown, real-world testimonials coming in from real people seeing quite astonishing results in very, very short periods of time. And this is covering areas such as rapid pain relief, sleep benefits, the increase in energy, wrinkle reduction, because as you start producing more stem cells, you get more collagen. It supports wound healing, it's muscle recovery and performance in sport, it's anti-aging. Now, one of the things that isn't mentioned at the moment is something that's only just been revealed recently, is that there was a recent study released a couple of days ago, which was for 6 weeks use on these patches. You can measure your arteries, like the age of them. So there are machines that you sort of that can put electric pulses through your body, and they can see the subtlety of the arteries. And obviously, as we get older and we're more at risk of heart attacks and strokes and things like that, it's because our arteries are clogging and they're stiffening. Now, what they've found is, and this is astonishing because this is one of the biggest killers in the world, is heart disease and stroke. Now, what they found is just 6 weeks use on these patches, and your artery health and the life of your arteries regresses by 2 years. So it makes your arteries younger by 2 years, which is, in effect, without making medical claims, it's kind of likely to be staving off all of those potential problems that you could have as your arteries harden by 2 years. Absolutely staggering. So anyway, enough from me. Hope you found this informative, and I'm going to cut to David Schmidt now. So he's going to give you a full overview of why and how these patches work alongside all the recent testimonials. Thanks for listening.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is David Schmidt, founder and CEO of LifeWave, and welcome to this very special webinar on LifeWave technology and the X39. Now, we are recording this webinar today so that you'll be able to share it with fellow members, team members, and potential customers so they can get an overview on what LifeWave technology is all about, and of course what the X39 is about. There's a lot more to the story. We of course refer to X39 as activating your stem cells, and there's a lot about that. So let's go ahead and get started so you can get the information on this that you're looking for. So where we're going to start is, for people that are new to LifeWave, is give an overview of how our technology works, because we have an entirely new approach to activating stem cells in the body. This is not a drug, it's not a nutritional supplement, it's a completely new way of taking advantage of stem cell technology. So let's dig into this first so you can understand why our method is so much better and so much different than anything else you've heard of before. Now, LifeWave technology is phototherapy. So instead of trying to put a drug or a nutritional supplement in the body, we can activate stem cells with light, and we do it all with a patch. Now, the patch does not contain any type of ingredients that goes into the body. That would be what's called a transdermal patch. Instead, we have a non-transdermal technology. That means that there's no ingredients going into the body. Instead, the patch is stimulating the surface of the skin with light. And by the way, this is a technology that I invented and patented, and currently I have about 100 patents that have been issued and pending that are global. So how does this work? Well, with the X39, you can simply apply the patch just about anywhere on the body, and it goes to work. Now, the two locations that we recommend for convenience, one is on the back of the neck, and the other is below the belly button, and you can of course see that illustrated here. So what happens? Well, you apply the patch to the surface of the skin, and the patch is immediately activated by body heat. Now, keep in mind that body heat is a form of light, infrared light, and this will activate the patch and cause it to reflect very specific wavelengths of light that will stimulate the surface of the skin. In science, this is called photobiomodulation, and it's an area of phototherapy, but it simply means that when we stimulate the skin with light, we can cause very specific chemical reactions in the body. Just think about how the sun causes the body to produce vitamin D. It's the same biochemical process. So we use very specific wavelengths of light that are reflected by our different patch products. Of course, today we're going to focus on the X39, but each patch has different materials in it that reflect different wavelengths of light. These will again stimulate the surface of the skin, and this stimulates the nerves. So when we're stimulating the nerves, we can then send a signal through the body that will produce a very specific biochemical change. So in the case of the sun, ultraviolet light is used to cause the production of vitamin D. But we can use other wavelengths of light to produce other biochemical changes. And this is what LifeWave is all about. So then the question is, what benefits can you get from using the X39? And what is the X39? What is it all about? Well, LifeWave has been around since 2004, and we have a line of phototherapy patches. We have patches that are designed to improve energy, improve focus, improve physical performance, anti-aging, and other things as well. And the X39 is similar to these other patches in that the X39 is going to elevate naturally occurring compounds in the body that, by the way, would normally decline with age. But the X39 is completely different than any other product, and as a matter of fact, it's the third generation of our LifeWave patches. The big thing that you'd want to know about the X39 is that people refer to it as our stem cell patch, because this is a patch that's designed to elevate what's called a peptide, which is known to activate stem cells. And if you've seen any of the testimonials, then you already know the benefits of elevating this peptide and activating stem cells are absolutely stunning. And we're going to talk about that a little bit now. Now, the first thing that you'd want to know about the X39 is that it does produce an immediate effect. Now, this is really unusual for a product, and it's certainly very unusual in our industry. And this is one of the things that people love about the X39 is that you can feel it the very first day of use. Now, what's going on here? Well, one of the things that the X39 will do is increase the production of antioxidants and decrease inflammation. So people feel this as an improvement in their energy levels, reduction in pain, and an improvement in their overall well-being. And there's other benefits as well. So most people will notice within the first few days of using the X39 that they see significant improvements in their quality of sleep. So more energy. When we are elevating antioxidants in the body, we can also upregulate or increase the amount of energy that the cells produce. This is a very powerful anti-aging effect, and the way people see this is they notice their very first day, they're not as tired or as fatigued by the end of the day. So this is a benefit you can get from the X39 your first day or within your first few days of using this patch. Of course, another benefit of the X39 is an improvement in sleep. Now, of course, you don't normally associate an improvement in sleep with activating stem cells, and that's because the X39 patch does a whole lot more. But just for the moment, so you know, one of the benefits that you can expect from the X39 is noticing that it will indeed improve the quality and the duration of your sleep. Most people, by the way, that have given us testimonials on this, as well as what we see in our clinical research, is that people report that their sleep is very deep and they're sleeping longer. Now, some of the most impressive testimonials we receive in on the X39 has to do with dramatic stories of pain relief. And some of these benefits just have to be experienced to be believed. People with chronic, long-term knee pain, they apply the X39 patch, and within minutes of application, the pain is gone. Back pain, migraine headaches, arthritic shoulders, arthritic joints. This pain is managed and minimized all within minutes of application. So don't be surprised when you use the X39 that you'll see an immediate reduction in the level of your pain and an improvement in mobility and an overall improvement in how you feel. Now here's another big one. Now this doesn't show up immediately, of course, but it does show up starting at about 3 or 4 weeks and through about the first 12 weeks of using the X39. Now when we activate stem cells in the body, one of the ways stem cells function is to increase the amount of collagen. And so collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. Now many of us are conditioned to thinking that collagen is in the skin, but it's actually everywhere throughout the body. So you use the X39, you'll increase the production of collagen, and over a period of time, you'll start to notice that the skin will tighten and there will be a reduction in the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. So look for those benefits starting at about the 3rd or 4th week and then through about 12 weeks or so. Now, other benefits that people get with the X39 has to do in the area of sports performance. One of the things that stem cells do really well is repair damage to the body. This is part of the natural healing process. So, in other words, stem cells are going to be attracted to the site of injury, and then they're going to repair that injury. Now, what does this have to do with sports performance? Well, when we go and exercise, one of the things that we're trying to do is cause damage to a muscle so the body can repair it and make the muscle stronger. So what people have seen with the X39 is that not only is it going to increase the speed of recovery, but also sports performance goes up. As a matter of fact, people are reporting that they're feeling better and performing better than they have at any time in their lives. Now, another benefit that people have reported to us with the X39 is hair growth. Now, this is something that we have not demonstrated yet in our clinical studies, but we are getting these reports from many of our male members. Now, clinical research in this area is interesting because it's been shown that if stem cell activity in the scalp is increased, this would in fact lead to hair growth. So we're going to continue to monitor this, but this is something maybe you should look for when you're using the X39, yet another benefit. Now, something else that we've seen that's been very dramatic with the X39 is a reduction in the appearance of scars. One of the things that stem cells can do is initiate a process in the skin called remodeling. And part of this has to do with the increase in collagen production. It all simply means that there will be a reduction in the appearance of scars. And we have some wonderful testimonials about this. Now, perhaps the most exciting thing about the X39 and some of the most dramatic testimonials that we have received are in the area of wound healing. Now, clinical research has already established and proven that elevation of the compound that we're elevating with X39 causes stem cells to elevate production of growth factors and lead to dramatic increases in the rate at which our bodies heal. So wound healing, of course, is a natural process, and as we age, the quality of our stem cells diminish. So by the time we get over the age of 60, the stem cells are no longer moving very quickly, and they're not releasing the growth factors needed to repair damage to the body. So this is why people over the age of 60 and 70 start to notice they really don't heal either very well or at all anymore. So the X39 helps to support the natural wound healing process, and this leads to a faster recovery. And I would definitely encourage you to check out some of the testimonials that we have on this. Now, youth renewal is part of who we are as a company. We have been developing products over the years in the field of anti-aging, and the X39 is certainly no exception. So what do we mean by youth renewal? Well, X39 elevates a compound in the body that has been proven in clinical research to rewrite thousands of genes to a younger and healthier state. Now, let me put this in context for you. There's around 18 or 19,000 genes in the body that encode for proteins. And as we age, we start to lose access to this information. It's a process genetically that's called hypermethylation, but for you and I, what it simply means is that we can no longer access information in our bodies that we did have access to when we were younger. The X39 changes this, though. There will be thousands of genes that will be reset to a younger, healthier state that we will once again get access to. This means that we simply will have a healthier life and will have more vitality. Now, for testimonials on the X39, I would definitely recommend that you check out our website, LifeWaveX39.com. And as you'll be able to see on this website, we have a tremendous number of testimonials, all in the area of improvement in energy, improvement in sleep, reduction in the feelings of pain, tightening of the skin, reduction in the appearance of lines and wrinkles, of course, rapid wound healing, and testimonials from all over the world. We see here that we have testimonials in from Canada, Uganda, Denmark, Germany, Israel, United States, all over the place. So yeah, definitely go to our website, LifeWaveX39.com, and check out some of these phenomenal testimonials. The website gets updated every Monday because we have new testimonials that come in every day. And so we update the website once a week.
Okay, so I'm sure you'd agree that's pretty awesome content, and obviously the science really stacks up on the product. One thing that I didn't mention throughout the presentation was that this product comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there literally is no risk for anyone with any health condition to try the product. I'm just going to quickly go through the sign-up process. So what you do when you come to want to buy the product, you click on the join button. You don't go to the products menu, you just go to the join button in the top right hand corner. I would suggest that people should do this on a web browser rather than a phone. It's just a little bit easier. So for this example, I'll just type in that I'm in the United Kingdom and click join now. Now what you're going to get is there's some different enrollment options. Now the cheapest way to get the patches and to get yourself started is to buy either a bronze, silver or gold kit. Now the bronze kit comes with a 1 month supply of the X39 patches, silver comes with a 3 month supply, and the gold comes with a 6 month supply at a slightly higher discount. So if we just click on gold, it's now going to take you through, and as you can see there's a 6 month supply of the X39 patch, but you also get the Alavida patches, which is their skin patches, which they suggest if you're going to use the 2 in month 1, you should put the X39 on for 12 hours from when you wake up, and then just before you're going to go to bed you want to put the Alavida patches on at night and take the X39 off. So to do the enrollment you click continue. There's a couple of little quirks on this form that you should be aware of. So obviously it's just your name, your gender, your date of birth. If you're a company, you should register, especially if you're in Europe. If you're in Europe, because the company's based in Ireland, it comes with a 20% VAT. So you can save 20% of the VAT price if you register as a company and you put your VAT number in. Then you just got your phone number, your tax ID goes in here. So for the UK, that would be a VAT number. It isn't a social security number, it's a VAT number. If you're in the US, I think you just put your US tax code in there. Now, then you put your email in. It's a binary placement thing, just leave that as it's set. Put your address details in. What you do with the personal website is you just put a username in. So you just put your name in. So your first name and your second name. So if I just put in John Smith, let's see if it's available. Yeah, it says it's available, so it says here whether or not that username is available. I wouldn't recommend clicking this distributor ID username because it just gives you a long number to remember, which people forget, and you just end up having to contact support if you're going to log in. So it's just far easier to choose a username which is your name. Enter your password. Now when you do this, it's got to be that you put in a password which has got a capital letter, a symbol and a number. So for example, it could be LifeWave with a capital L, and then you could put 123 and then the @ symbol or a question mark or an exclamation mark or something. It has to have those 3 things in or else it won't go through. Then for most people, you're going to be shipping to your home address, so you just tick the use shipping address, then you've got your billing details, your card details, put that all in there. Now the other thing that I want to point out on this is that you're not able to click here at the very bottom to the I agree to the terms and conditions area unless you've scrolled in this box. Now a lot of people get stuck with this, and this is why I say to do it on a web browser. So you just need to go down and drag. If you put your if I'm on a Mac, you just use two fingers and you just scroll down on it. But if you're on a PC, just hover and move this bar till it goes to the bottom, and then you'll be able to click on the agree button, click submit, and then it's gonna, if I'd put all the details in, it would then just go through to the next page. So that's all you need to do to get yourself up and running with the X39 patch. What I would say is if you're watching this in a group that isn't one of my groups, then you just need to make sure that you use the referral link that the person who brought you into the group will have sent you. But they've probably sent it you in a private message, or it'll be somewhere within the group or the description of this video.